I saw him sitting on the bench outside the clinic. Looked like he'd just gotten some news, not the kind you celebrate. His hands were folded in his lap, and he was staring at nothing in particular. I've seen that look before. It's the look of someone wondering how much time they have left. I'm Arthur. I'm 80 years old, and I've been thinking a lot lately about time. Not the kind you measure with a watch, but the kind that measures us. At our age, we start noticing things, little things. The way our friends move slower than they used to. The way some names don't come up in conversation anymore. We don't talk about it much, but we're all thinking the same thing. How much longer do I have? And what decides that? That man on the bench, I didn't know him, but I knew what he was feeling. Because I've felt it too. We all have. That quiet fear that sits in your chest when you're lying awake at 3 a.m, when the house is silent and you're alone with your thoughts. But here's what I've learned and what I've seen in the people around me. The people who make it past 70, 80, even 90. They're not just lucky. There are signs, real signs, things you can see in how they live, how they move, how they think. My friend Eleanor is 86, still drives herself to the grocery store every Thursday, still reads the newspaper without glasses, still remembers everyone's birthday. I asked her once what her secret was. She laughed and said, "There's no secret." But then she said something that stuck with me. She said she never stopped moving, not running marathons, not lifting weights, just moving. She walks to her mailbox every day, takes the stairs when she can, gets up during commercials, little things, but she does them every single day. I read something recently that said, people who can walk a quarter mile without stopping tend to live longer after 70. A quarter mile, that's just a few blocks. But it matters. It tells you something about your heart, your lungs, your legs. Your body is talking to you with every step you take. Then there's Harold. Lives 2 doors down from me. He's 78. Last year, his doctor told him to try standing on one leg for 10 seconds. Sounds silly, right? But Harold couldn't do it. Not even close. He wobbled and grabbed the wall after 3 seconds. The doctor said, that's a problem. Said balance is one of the best predictors of how long someone will live. Because if you can't balance, you fall. And after 70, falls are serious. They're not just bumps and bruises anymore. They're fractures, hospital stays, sometimes worse. Harold started practicing every morning while he brushed his teeth, one leg, 10 seconds, then the other. Took him 2 months, but now he can do it. He told me it made him feel younger, not because it's some magic trick, but because he could feel himself getting stronger, more stable. I think about my own balance sometimes. I try it when no one's looking. Some days are better than others, but it's not just physical things. I've noticed something else. The people who keep going, they're connected. They have people, not hundreds of friends, just a few. People they talk to, people who matter. My neighbor Doris lost her husband 6 years ago. For a while, she just disappeared. Stopped coming to church. Stopped answering the phone. I worried about her. We all did. Then one day she joined a quilting group at the community center. Just a handful of women meeting on Tuesday mornings. It changed everything. She started smiling again, started telling stories. She told me once that she didn't realize how lonely she'd been until she wasn't lonely anymore. There's research on this. People who have close relationships, people they see regularly, people they can talk to, they live longer. Not a little bit longer, a lot longer. Your heart needs more than exercise. It needs connection. I see it the other way too. I know men, good men, who retired and just stopped. Stopped calling friends. Stopped going places. They sit at home and watch TV and wonder why they feel so tired all the time. It's not age, it's isolation, and it kills you just as surely as anything else. Then there's the mind. I've watched people lose their sharpness, forget names, forget stories they've told 100 times. It's hard to watch, but I've also seen people stay sharp well into their 80s and 90s. What's the difference? They stay curious. They read. They do puzzles. They learn new things. My friend Walter taught himself to use a computer at 75. Took him months to figure out email. But now he writes to his grandkids every week, looks up old songs he used to listen to, watches videos about history. He told me it keeps him feeling alive, like there's still more to discover. And I believe him, because when you stop learning, you start fading. I think about my own mind too. Some days the words come easy. Other days I have to search for them. But I keep reading, keep thinking, keep talking to people. Because I've seen what happens when you don't. And then there's purpose. That's a big word. But it's simple, really. It's having a reason to get up in the morning, something that matters to you. It doesn't have to be grand. My friend Ruth volunteers at the library 1 day a week, helps kids with their reading. She's 79. She said those kids keep her young, give her something to look forward to. I've seen men and women who retire and lose their purpose. They worked for 40 years, and then suddenly, nothing. No schedule, no responsibilities, no reason to set the alarm. And they start to fade, not right away, but slowly, like a light dimming. The ones who thrive, they find something. Gardening, volunteering, helping family, writing letters. Doesn't matter what it is, just matters that it's something. Your body knows the difference between existing and living, and it responds. I think about sleep too. How well we sleep says a lot. I know people who haven't slept through the night in years. They wake up tired, dragged through the day. Their bodies never get a chance to repair. Good sleep isn't just rest, it's healing. It's when your brain cleans itself out, when your muscles recover, when your heart gets a break. People who sleep well tend to live longer. I've seen it. And what you eat, I won't preach about diets, but I will say this. The people I know who are still going strong at 80, 85, 90, they eat real food, not fancy food, just real food. Vegetables, fruit, not too much sugar, not too much of anything really. My friend George is 91, still mows his own lawn. I asked him once what he eats. He laughed and said, "Whatever my wife puts in front of me." But then he'd said something smart. He said he eats until he's satisfied, not until he's stuffed. That stuck with me. Your weight matters too, not because of how you look, but because of what it does to your heart, your joints, your organs. Carrying too much weight makes everything harder. I've seen people lose weight in their 70s and feel like they got 10 years back. But maybe the biggest sign I've seen, the one that shows up in almost everyone who lives well past 70, is attitude. Not positive thinking or anything like that. I mean something deeper. It's acceptance. without giving up. It's knowing you're getting older without letting that become an excuse. It's feeling the aches and pains without letting them define you. It's understanding that time is limited without spending all your time thinking about it. I've known people who were angry about aging, bitter, resentful. It ate them up. They didn't last long. And I've known people who accepted it with grace, who found joy in small things, who laughed at themselves, who stayed grateful. Those are the ones who keep going. I'm not saying any of this to scare anyone or to make promises. None of us knows how much time we have, and that's okay. That's just life. But I've watched enough people, sat with enough friends, buried enough good folks to know that how we live matters, not just for how long, but for how well. If you can walk without losing your breath, if you can stand on one leg, if you have people who care about you and people you care about, if your mind is still working and you have something to get up for, if you sleep well and eat simply and carry yourself with a little grace, you're doing better than you think. That man on the bench outside the clinic, I don't know what news he got, but I hope he knows this. Time isn't just measured in years, it's measured in moments, in steps, in conversations, in purposes. And every day you wake up is another chance to add to that. I'm Arthur, and I'm grateful for every one of mine.